Hey y'all, it's Kalia Monique. My first name's Kalia, my middle name's Monique. It's Kalia Monique. And today we are going to be organizing my shelves. First and foremost, that is the focus of this video, but also talking about media I've been consuming and of course my July TBR. Coming off of the second readathon that I feel I have personally failed, I'm not going to be going too intense this month with the TBR, but I do have my cart here by me, which you guys will be able to see in frame in a little bit. And so I'm just going to organize some books that I have very high on my radar for in general, whether it's to be read in July or to be read in coming months. We shall see. But take a look at the shelves. They're cute. Oh, I also wanted to grab some of my leftover vines to decorate this part because it does make me a little bit sad that the vines are no longer a part of my book setup. I will be doing some videos still in my room, but even then I'm not actually going to be on my bed. So again, you're not going to see the vines, and I'm like, the vines are an essential part of me. So we're going to figure out a way to incorporate those on these shelves to always have the atmosphere of when we first started out. But yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Right now, my thoughts are, first of all, atrocious. Why is this just here? Oh, this one I think just fell from where it was. Then we have books stacked right there, you can see. I have the teacups that Illumicrate has given us over here that I need to figure out a place to decorate them with. Got my bookmarks here, but those aren't organized, so I kind of just threw them in there. And you'll see as we go along, there are a lot of books just scattered. Is that the word? Just scattered all over the place. My goal is to have my favorite books or cozy books, just things that make me happy up here, kind of on display. The thing about that though, Winnie the Pooh here, I would prefer to be standing up invisible, but it doesn't stand. It just keeps falling down. So I need to figure out how to do that. And then this would be my romance and contemporary section right here. Down here would be my fantasy reads. And then this, you guys can't even see it, but the third row, yes, that's a row. The third row would be just either books I'm not that interested in, because what I found while putting the books on I try to already put them in their genre when I was putting the books on the shelf, just put them up here. And what I have noticed is I read a lot of romance, contemporary, and fantasy. Wow, I read a lot of my favorite three genres. Who knew? They don't fit on just these two shelves. They do not. They definitely overlap, so I need to figure out how to do that. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is what is it called? The overflow or the extra of that genre is just going to go on the third shelf along with genres that I don't read too often. So that would be horror, thriller, mysteries. I don't read them too often. Middle grade as a genre, as a middle grade isn't just a genre, is it? Because there's so many different types of middle grade. But as a category in general, I don't read very many middle grades. And then the final shelf is going to be kind of like it was on the shelf that was in my old room of all my mangas, graphic novels, and comics, along with my nonfiction and classics as it is right now, and poetry. So kind of my short form reads plus the nonfiction. Or we might be able to boost the nonfiction up, but we'll see what goes on. And of course, figuring out my cart, what goes on the cart, what doesn't. I have every single book that I own here in this room now. Apparently, while putting this stuff up here, I missed some more books, so my mom put some books on one of her shelves over there. Y'all, I don't know if it'll all fit on this stuff, but I hope it does, and we're gonna find out. And let's just talk about it, okay? Let's talk about media I've been consuming. I'm not gonna lie, all June I have been looking forward to doing this video because I have been consuming so much media that I've actually really enjoyed, and it's not just books, and it's not just one show. Kind of like it was for the June TBR video. I think the first thing that I really liked, let's start with shows and movies, right? Because that's been pretty consistent throughout these videos, and I consumed so much. So, first off, oh my god, please hurry. Not hurry, but just come on now. The first movie that I actually watched this month, which is June, was, I need to actually pull it up on Netflix. I should have this stuff prepared, but I'm not gonna lie, just getting ready for this video took so much. I had another shirt planned. I got makeup on that shirt. Wasn't wearing that shirt when I put my makeup on. Still got makeup on it. It's annoying. So first up, the very first movie that I watched this month was Hustle. It's on Netflix, featuring Queen Latifah and Adam Sandler as a couple, which is what had me interested in it, because that was an odd pairing to me. Oh, why is this sideways? Is it okay? Yeah, the teacup's fine. Adam Sandler plays a basketball recruiter, and he's going all over the state and all over the world, really, going to different countries to scout basketball players to join a professional team. I forget what team was they were saying he was the scout for. I forget. Because when I tell you this was like the first bit of media outside of books that I consumed in the month of June, like it might have been like June 1st or 3rd. I don't know. I just remember I was working while watching it. I cannot describe to you how much I love projects that just require a lot of focus but not a lot of reading, so I can like listen to things as I work. I love those projects so much. I feel like I get so much additional things done with the work because I can like listen to an audiobook while reading or while working on those projects. Anyways, doesn't matter. But I was watching Hustle while working on this project, and I really enjoyed it. So, like I said, Adam Sandler plays a scout, and he ends up going to Spain, I believe. I think Spain. Or a Spanish-speaking country. I'm sorry. He went to some country where... Oh, Darius, that was loud. Where Spanish is the first language. And he's honestly really losing his passion in scouting. This was never his dream job. He's just really good at it, so they keep him in this role. And he's just lost his passion for the job, but ultimately kind of for the sport of basketball because of his job, and that fact that he's like in the basketball industry, but he's not doing what he loves to do in the basketball industry, which is coaching. And so he's on the scouting mission, and the coach of the team is like, basically is just like, you used to have so much passion, you used to like not let people get away with things, and you're just kind of going through the motions now. Like, you give up fights too easily now. Your love's not in it, your passion's not in it anymore. And he's like, yeah, that's right. I just, like, this isn't what I always meant to do. He kind of has this reputation of being, like, a hothead, which has really messed with, like, relationships within the industry. And that's kind of also why he's stuck where he is. But ultimately, the owner is like, you know what? You're right. This isn't what your goal was going to be. So we're going to go ahead and let you... I recognize your talent. I see your growth. That we've been working together for so long. I see your growth as a person. You're not that person, that hothead, or that person people think you are anymore. You've grown. You've messed up in the past, but you've learned from those mess ups. I'm gonna allow you to be. Currently, our team's assistant coach is retiring. He quit. I don't know. He's somewhere. He ain't there no more, though. And so I'm going to let you have this job. And so, of course, Adam Sandler's super excited about it. He's like, yes. Calls his wife and is like, babe, we did it. His wife, who is Queen Latifah. What? Anyways, he's like, I did it. Moving on up, you know, East Side and all that shit. I don't know. I don't like. I don't know what's wrong with me. That's what I don't know. And so yeah, he's super excited, especially because his job requires him to move or requires him to be away from home so often. So he's like, oh my god, I get to be with my daughter. They got a kid, by the way. I get to be with my daughter now. It's so exciting. But something occurs, and I'm not going to say what because I feel like that's a spoiler. And he doesn't get the assistant coach anymore because the owner's son now takes the owner's position, and this is the person that Adam Sandler's character was having tension with before. He's just like, listen, my dad left me in charge. Did he? But whatever. My dad left me in charge, and I'm just going to make the executive decision that you're going to stay your ass where you're at and continue scouting for us. We need you out there more than we need you on the court. Honestly, I kind of said that very rudely, but I can't tell if I said it more mean than he said it or if he was more mean than me, because he did that, that thing I hate, that like passive aggressive nice thing. If you gonna spit in my face, just spit in my face. Don't actually spit on me. I will, that is when you find me incarcerated. Anyways, yeah, so he ends up having to scout for longer. And of course, this is a huge blow to him. Also, I'm pretty sure he was going to get a raise by being an assistant coach. I'm just going to assume assistant coaches make more than scouts do. So yeah, while he's in the scouting thing in some country, again, I don't remember which one, but their main language is Spanish. Their first language is Spanish. I really felt like they said Spain, but again, it doesn't quite track with what my memory is telling me. So he's scouting. He's still not finding people. He's like, it's not working. I don't like this. Or not I don't like this, but none of the players show what they need to show to be on this team. Like, if you want a great team, none of these players, none of these basketball players are really showing me that they're not showing me that power. If they're really good at the sport, then they got some cocky attitude attached to them. It's just a whole mess. And it's like, do you want a difficult player to deal with? Nah, I don't. No. And of course, there's like funny parts attached to this as well as Adam Sandler. I'm not gonna lie, the scouting scene at the very beginning had me dead. There was this man that was clearly 40, late 40s, I want to say, trying to say he was a teenager. It was funny. He's in this country. He's still, once again, he's checked off another name. It's not working. You're not this team, not the team I'm scouting for. You won't be with us, sir. He ends up finding this street game, like basketball game, a pickup basketball game, where they're like playing for a pot. So every player that goes on to play puts in some money, and then whoever wins, it's like teams and one-on-one. So the team of like 3 people. Honestly, the game that was happening on the street was so much more spirited than what was happening on the court, and honestly, I feel like it had more what is it called? More fans? That's what they're called. So, but the cocky guy that has all the fans, all the people cheering for him that everybody seems to love, ends up getting a little attitude because this guy that isn't even in basketball shoes ends up beating him and ends up blocking his shot, ends up stealing the ball, ends up dunking on him, something like that. It was very dramatic. And he's like in his feelings because he's like, you took the pot from me. Like, that was mine and you cheated. So he was like, I'm not going to do this with you. He leaves, or he tries to leave. The little short man that everybody was raving for, who got that whole attitude, is like, he said something mean. I don't remember what. So homie with the non-basketball shoes comes back. This is another main character, by the way, and he's fine. So he turns back around. He's like, fine, let's do 1-on-1. You get whole pot if we do 1-on-1, and let's add money onto it. It's a huge deal now. Egos are very much involved. It's a hot ass mess up in here, but it's an entertaining one. It's not even a hot mess. It's just fun. It's just, whoo. That man, he's so fine. Oh, got to watch him all movie too. He ends up getting Adam Sandler's attention, and so Oh, by the way, clearly I'm not gonna. Adam Sandler's name, I know. Queen Latifah's name, I know. I don't know any other actor's name, and I sure as hell don't know their character's name. So y'all just gonna have to bear with me. So he ends up being the star of the moment. Adam Sandler tries to recruit him, and it's just about their journey and Adam Sandler trying to get him to become a professional basketball player. There is a lot of things involved, a lot of situations that make life really difficult for them, and difficult for him to be a professional American basketball player. But the movie was so cute. I loved it. Like, for it to be funny, because ultimately it is funny, it's Adam Sandler. There are funny moments. Queen Latifah also, very funny woman. Fun fact, people used to tell my mom that she looked like Queen Latifah all the time. Like, literally would be in the grocery store, especially in my mom's hair. Like, when I was little and my mom's hair was dyed lighter. Now her hair is black, but before when she had dyed it lighter, people were constantly telling her she looked like Queen Latifah. So anyways, I used to watch Queen Latifah movies all the time just because I was born in 1998, and in the early 2000s, Queen Latifah was in her acting bag, baby, Bringing Down the House, reruns of Living Single. I mean, Queen Latifah was all up and through Beauty Shop. Queen Latifah was all up and through my TV set, okay? Oh my god, y'all remember TV sets? Ooh. The whole movie is just about Adam Sandler taking on this kid to help him be a professional basketball player, and how Adam Sandler's character finds his passion again in the sport because of this kid that he's helping out. There is a huge family element. It's the greatest thing ever. It's so cute. I loved it. It was so cute, guys. Like, a tearjerker. Towards the end, I was hanging on the side of my seat, just like, why can't he win? And I'm talking about I love how I keep talking about Adam Sandler's character as though that was why I was watching. Nah, I was watching for that fine-ass basketball player from whatever the fuck country he was from, being fine as fuck, just, playing, and once again, just like I felt when Romaine started getting angry about things in Selling Sunset, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I see the sex appeal now. I see the intrigue in this. Again, I should really get that checked out. But when the basketball player's character really started showing up and showing out, and just like, you're not going to disrespect my family, you're not going to talk about this, and I'm a real calm dude, but when you push them buttons, I'm push you back. I was in love, okay? And I love just like how, because he's not from America and he's trying to become a professional basketball player in America. There is an innocence to his character while also having this tough bravado because of him being the caretaker for his family back home, and he's fine. Just fine. I really love that movie. If you haven't watched it, you totally should. It's on Netflix. With how ridiculous Netflix prices are, I wouldn't be mad if you told me that you don't have Netflix anymore. I can't find the order of things, so I'm just going to talk about other shows that I really appreciated for that month, for June. That is the only movie. I don't watch movies very often. Now, there are two shows in my mind that are standing out to me right now that I would love to talk about. Because, yeah, if I did watch another show, it's not standing out and I don't remember it anymore. But watch that movie. It was very cute. But Adam Sandler, just like Queen Latifah, I watched so many of his movies when I was younger. It was like, that's the thing with, like, actors like that and comedians, because, again, he's both. They have a really, really soft spot in my heart because they were everywhere at the time that I was growing up. So I saw them on the TV, and I saw them in movies all the time growing up. And TV and movies is really how I entertained myself, because although I have siblings, like I said, they were like way older than me and like teenagers. So it's not like I had people to play with except for like the main place I call home from when I was little. I had a lot of friends there, and we did play outside and like have fun and everything. But I have always, my entire life, been one of my youngest. Like, I've always been the youngest in the group. So there would be times that they could go outside that I couldn't, and I had the early bedtime because I was a child. Anyways, when I had to be inside and like I just watch TV and reruns of movies and shows over and over and over again. So like watching Queen Latifah and Adam Sandler and a bunch of other actors as well, like they have a very soft spot in my heart because in my mind, like watching their movies and shows basically raised me. Like I loved Adam Sandler's comedy when I was a kid. I definitely shouldn't have been watching as much of it as I did. Like, not all of that was appropriate for a child, but my older siblings were watching it, so I watched it too. And yeah, this honestly felt like a new role for Adam Sandler that I just really appreciated him in. Like, he's getting older in age, and I don't know if was an intentional thing that he's done with his career, but he's getting older in age, and I feel like this role really reflects his maturity as an actor and a man. And I don't know how much I can say I appreciate it, but it was really, really cute. I loved it. But next media, let's do the one, oh, I just remembered another show. Let's do the one show that I didn't finish this month because it's not completed yet. It's still coming out. Now this show, I don't know how many of you will be able to watch it. It is a K-drama. Although Netflix is a great place for me to watch K-dramas, it is not my main source of watching K-dramas. I actually have a subscription to Viki, but it is called Eve, and it features the actress that was in It's Okay Not to Be Okay. I love It's Okay Not to Be Okay so much. So much. And it has so much to do with the acting capabilities of the three main actors. Or like literally everyone there, but those three main that really developed their relationship as brothers, as romantic, as whatever, best friends. Oh my god, it was just so cute and precious, and I really, really loved it. It is one of my favorites. It's tied for my top favorite with Itaewon Class. I will say this over and over again because I want y'all to watch it. It is emotional turmoil though. But, like I was saying, Eve is what I assume Revenge was. Like that like that ABC show that came on when I was young enough to not be interested in that show at all. It came on after Desperate Housewives, so that helps you to understand the time of Revenge. Then, yeah. I never watched Revenge. I honestly shouldn't have been watching Desperate Housewives, but I watched it with my mom, so it was okay. But the actress from It's Okay Not to Be Okay plays a woman in this role. Okay, she is the main reason that I watched this show, by the way, because, like I said, I just loved her acting capabilities in It's Okay Not to Be Okay. And I just want to watch everything she's ever acted in. That being said, she acted in another show that I know. Maybe she's done more, but there's one more in which she plays a person that is in a cult. I don't like cults. I seriously don't. I kind of group them together in my mind with serial killers. I know so many people love watching serial killer documentaries and stuff. I don't. I really don't. I don't know if it's because when I was a kid, like the ID Network, that stuff. First 48 I think it's still her favorite show. But my mom loves the First 48. I was subjected to that as a child all the time, and those are real crimes, like officers dealing with real crimes and stuff. And it literally honest trauma. That show caused me actual trauma as a child because I didn't sleep in my own bed as a kid. Like, I refused. I was sleeping in my sister's bed or with my mom. I don't know why. But, because of that, my mom would be watching the First 48. And, I mean, I'm the guest in her room. And so, she would be watching it. And my little child, innocent mind had to watch it as well. And traumatizing. That is the only word to describe it. Truly, utterly traumatizing. Every time someone would knock on my door or ring our doorbell, I ran up the stairs type of traumatizing. Because you know what happens in the First 48? You know how many of the killers the victim didn't know? Very few of them, okay? A lot of them were people they knew and just got into arguments with. So I was like, oh, is that my grandma coming? She might be mad today. Let me run up the stairs real quick and make sure everything's safe. Or, oh, God forbid, a pizza man was coming. Holding a pizza or not, I'm scared. I don't know you, sir. I was truly traumatized as a child. I'm a soft soul. I've come to realize it's just a baby. So, like I said, in Eve, I don't know character names. I don't know actors' names. I don't know why I'm so bad at names. She plays a woman who's, as a child, she had this happy family and she felt like her world was perfect, all until her family is torn apart by her father being murdered, and she is seeking to get revenge on the people responsible for his death. This is a plan that has been in action for years. She has really worked hard to get into a space where she can get back at those that wronged her. I love it. Well, that being said, the revenge does include her seducing a man. And I'm still trying to figure out if they want me to believe that this is an actual, like, romantic love interest. Like, is she going to feel bad for him at some point? Because he's not happy with his life in the first place. Poor thing. However, you're not gonna act like what is his career called? I forget what I'd be reading during the subtitles when they claim him, but it's like prosecutor. I feel like, well, no, he used to be a prosecutor. He used to be a lawyer, and now he's like this council member, I think. Yeah, like he's like a government official, kind of. Like he's in a lower position in the government, but still enough of a position to affect change and like help people. He has some type of authority to him. But you're not gonna act like he is not there with him looking like that, and then have the other guy be the one that she's supposed to be. I mean, she's seducing him so that she can ruin these people's lives. But are we, like, I feel bad for the guy, and I think I'm supposed to. Like, he has a sad life, and oh, his wife is just horrendous. Oh, I can't stand that woman. Oh, God, I can't stand, I think she's just so horrible. They don't try to make you empathize with her at all. Sis getting fully cheated on, and they're like, but it's okay, see, because she's evil. And while I don't agree with the notion that like anyone deserves to be cheated on because of their behavior or whatever, sometimes people deserve to be told the truth. Although she wouldn't be able to handle it. I don't know. There's a lot of things to be said, but the point is that this main character is coming to ruin their lives because so the woman who's getting cheated on, her father is kind of like directly like the reason that our main character's dad was murdered. So I love a happy show, clearly. But like I said, main character is plotting revenge, planning on ruining their lives. I'm all for Good Sis getting the work done. The work that needs to be done, okay? Mess them up, Good Sis. Ruin their lives. Do it. I dare you. I double dog dare you. She doesn't need a dare. She's fully committed to ruining these people's lives, and I love a goal-oriented woman. So basically, she's just like, she's executing the plan right now. Like I said, I haven't finished the show, but I love the show. Good Sis can act. She can act down. And like I said, there's another show that I haven't watched of hers. I want to watch all the shows she's in because she's an amazing actor, but I don't do cults. I group them with serial killers. Yeah, let's go ahead and finish this thought. I group them with serial killers. I am from Washington State. I don't know if you know, but we basically breed serial killers. And not a lot of them get caught. They just die. Or they get caught years later. But point is, that's not fun to me. No. So I can't do that. But, so I can't, and then the cults, actual cults, that's just actually terrifying. Like, every time I hear someone talk about their experience in a cult, or having someone just, like, talk about cults in general, it just, it's a lot of empathy, I feel, and, like, just complete sadness for the people who had to experience that, and it's just a lot for me emotionally, and of course, it's a lot for the person that actually went through it. I'm just saying, like, it's I'm not going to say never, but it's going to be really, really, really hard for me to get into a show featuring a cult. Like, to actively decide to watch that type of media, knowing how sad it's going to make me. For example, I watched The Runaways on Hulu. There is a slight mention of, like, a cult-like religion. I still don't know how to describe that. But even in the small factors that were involved in that show alone, and it was a very small, honestly dimmed down version of a cult in that show, and even that was really hard for me to watch. So yeah, that just, it's oof. Again, I'm not gonna say never, but it's gonna take a lot for me to be able to watch that. Like, it's gonna take a lot of emotional strength for me to be able to watch something that has to do with a cult. But sis can act, okay? And from what I'm seeing, she likes to act in these kind of, like, sad roles. She also has a beautiful voice. Her voice is kind of, like, deep and very, very unique. And I, like, it just, honestly, it adds to the character. Her voice seems to really fit within the characters that she plays. I don't know. Is that why she chooses the role she chooses? She's like, this is where I belong. She's also very pretty. And her outfits and It's Okay Not to Be Okay. I want your wardrobe. She's doing the same thing in this movie. She's doing the same thing in this K-drama. Like, we having outfits, and I'm like, give it here. Just, I want it. I want it. But I can't do that. Because that's not how that works. But anyways, yeah, I really love that actress, and I'm very excited to be starting this show. This next show is, I'm going to save the reality TV for later. But the next one I want to mention is The Umbrella Academy Season 3. Yeah, we're on Season 3. Season 3 came out. I binged that all last weekend. It was so good. It has officially made it as one of my favorite shows ever to exist. I love Klaus so much. I don't think I'm supposed to still love him as much as I do. Like, his character has definitely really changed in this season. But he's still so cute. Like, the essence of Klaus, of being this, like, airy, just party guy, fun to be around. He has his more somber and serious moments this season, while also still balancing that with the fun and whimsical and, like, substance abuse. Oh, that's not how I wanted to say that. I had a thought and never finished the other one. He's still, like, fun and whimsical and, like, a party guy. However, trigger warning, he deals with substance abuse very heavily. If you don't know what the Umbrella Academy is about, it's about 7 siblings, I believe, that were on October 1st. A bunch of women around the world ended up having children. They ended up giving birth to children that at the beginning of that day they were not married to. So, that at the beginning of the day they were not pregnant with. So, just out of nowhere, their bellies grew and a kid was coming out. My literal nightmare. A literal nightmare. Nightmare. So, there is this, like, what are they called? Philanthropist? Philanthropist. I feel like I really need to be able to see this word to know how to say it. But this guy, this, like, also eccentric I don't know how to say either of these words. Eccentric philanthropist dude. He got a lot of money. Decides to go around the world and grab some babies. 7 of them to be exact. And these children all seem to be gifted with these abilities, or not seem to be, they are gifted with these abilities. There's number 1. His name is Luther. He is super strong. 2, I don't remember which one is 2. Is 2 Diego? No, 3 is Diego. I don't know their numbers, okay? I really don't. But I know Luther's 1, and I know Vanya, who is now in season 3, Victor, so I'm just going to call him Victor from now on. But he's played by Elliot Page. So there's Luther, Diego, who be throwing knives and always reaches his target. Like, he just throws a knife and it reaches his target, which, honestly, if you ask me, is the weakest of the powers, because with good training, anybody can do that. But, I mean, strength also isn't that great. Again, there are people that, like, move cars just because for a hobby. Like, what? Anyways, Allison, and she can rumor people into doing whatever she wants. So she'll just be like, I heard a rumor that you're in love with me, and they'll be in love with her. Then there's Klaus, and he can see dead people, which is why he has substance abuse issues, because the person that adopted him, or that adopted them, is a terrible father and basically tortured his children so that they would be great superheroes. Klaus, his torture involved dead people. So yeah, he dealt with substance abuse. Then there is, what was his name? Was it Nick? Cass. Ben. His name is Ben. I didn't even have to see it. I love how it'd be right when I'm about to look at it. But Ben, his abilities is probably the scariest out of all of them. He got tentacles coming out of him. Like octopus tentacles that just come out of him. Apparently, I think they described it as he's like kind of a portal to another dimension. So like the creatures from that dimension just come out. I don't know if they described that in the show or if that was the comic book, but I think that that's what it is. And then there's 5 who never got to have a actual name because the person that, or the being that gave them their like actual names was a robot who the rich man decided would fill in as like a mother figure for them. So she's the one that actually gave them names. Or was it the monkey that gave them names? Anyways, one of the helpers that felt bad for them actually ended up giving these children's name. But 5, his ability is to jump through time and space, kind of. So visibly, what you see is him moving from point A to point B, onward and on. So projecting him, not even projecting himself, but like literally, he's winnowing. Okay. But like I said, he can move through time and space. So he, at whatever age they were, he was like, I'm ready for this time thing. Like, I want to jump through time. And his dad was like, you're not ready. He's like, yes, I am. You're not ready. They got in an argument. He was like, I told you I'm ready. And he jumped through time and got his ass stuck. So he didn't grow up with them. And because of he didn't grow up with them, they didn't know where he went. He just disappeared. Well, turns out he jumped through time and just couldn't go back. Then he ends up coming back, finds a way to jump through time again, but like with his abilities. But the problem with that is he ends up back in his teenage body, I guess 13. I don't remember how old they said he left at, but that's the kids. That's the Hargrave children. As they get older, they grow apart. It's a whole mess. It's a lot of emotional, like familial dynamics, emotional damage occurring in the series. It's just so sad. I realized I can't actually go into detail about this series either because I'm on season 3, and all I can really say is for those of you that have watched it, you get it. I still love it. I don't know if you do. Let me know if you do. But I still love it. I love how the characters have evolved. If I were to put this over there, do you think this would hold it back? Or those would knock this over. Let's find out. So yeah, like I said, we're on season 3. I can't really talk about it because of that. But I really enjoyed it. I love how the characters have continued to develop. I like they're maturing in a sense, but they're also staying true to their character. Like Luther's whole plot line, I was like, huh, okay, sir. So you're the same guy. Like okay, we're gonna end up in the same kind of situation, although completely different because at least you didn't grow up with this one. And then Allison was the only plot line I had a problem with because I know with what she's gone through, they really wanted me to feel bad for her, and it's like, okay, it's not her fault. She's gone through some things. Allison did some things that I genuinely I wouldn't be able to forgive. It made me so angry because I was like, I kept giving her chances and she kept messing it up, and I was just like, can you stop? Goodness, I don't deserve this. Let alone who you're doing it to. But as for the show, loved it. Characters, love their progression. It's great. Like I said, it's really becoming one of my favorite shows. If not, it's actually, after watching season 3, it's kind of solidified itself as like one of my favorite shows. It's not kind of one of my favorite shows. It is one of my favorite shows because the characters are so well done, and it has me so intrigued to read the comic books. I was like, what is that word called? It's just very complex characters. I really love them and enjoy them. I like I'm gonna say sci-fi more than fantasy, but like the sci-fi element of it all is great. It's a fun time. I definitely recommend if you have been eyeing the show, or if you didn't know season 3 was coming out, which I definitely heard it was coming out soon. And I remember watching something that I even think I heard when it was coming up, and then yet all of a sudden it was people raving about the 3rd season of Umbrella Academy, and I was like, where did this come from? Oh, doesn't fit there. So we'll do it. Oh. Knocked that over. Oh, and it chipped it. That's okay. I'll just sit like that then. Honestly, like, this didn't chip too badly, so like it's the back is chipped on the, can you see it? Chipped there, and then the bottom is chipped right there. So it looks bad, kind of, but then the whole front is completely fine, so I'll just have it like that. And it'll be fine. Oh, dang. How unfortunate. I feel like any other time I might be freaking out more, but honestly, over on that side, you might be able to see it, but we kind of have some of our not overflow, but we're still unpacking, trying to figure out where everything goes. And some of the stuff that are like more antiques of my family, things that we've had for years, like that lamp, you guys can't see it, but there's a lamp over there that literally used to belong to my great grandma. So as long as things that have been in my family for literal decades aren't broken, then I'm honestly fine. That could have been so much worse, and it wasn't, so I'm okay. And I'm kind of done talking about Umbrella Academy because it was a great show, but I genuinely don't know how to talk about what I loved about it without spoiling it. But what makes it keep being one of my favorite shows is just how each season it's kind of like its own thing, but like adds onto the previous season, and it always introduces something new and new characters, but it's just so great. Like, it just proves that everyone is complex. There is no good or bad. I mean, there is horrible. I hate the dad so much. So much. So, oh, he is a bad guy. But even the bad guys think they're good, you know? podcast. You might be able to tell from the fact that the lighting is completely different. But yeah, the sun is going down now. It has taken me that long to organize my books. And of course, you guys have just seen a time lapse of me organizing the shelves. But now it's time to get to the cart. Now there are a ton of books on this cart, but as I've mentioned, the TBR that I'm going to be doing is going to be for a while. Like the books that have my most interest at the moment, and no matter what limit it's going to be, at the very top is going to be July's TBR though. But back to what I was discussing, which is media, TV shows. Okay, so I had just started talking about Snowflake Mountain, so we're just going to start all over. I also started watching a show and at the very end of the month, like literally watched it all yesterday. And that is a Netflix reality show called Snowflake Mountain. It's just a really, really mean name for essentially, I guess, millennials or Gen Zers that fall under the category of like lazy. They're very spoiled and entitled, and the show is all about their parents being sick of them and deciding to send them away to a mountain, to the wilderness. Oh no! First of all, happy I'm not that type of person to where my family would even consider just sending me away to rough it in the wilderness. Oh no. Never me. Honestly, I don't think my mom is the type of mom that would want to send me to the wilderness. I mean, she was scared of me being in the city where I was born and raised. But yeah, I don't, and also I'm not I wouldn't, this term doesn't apply to me in the slightest. But I'm just saying, like, if my family did that to me, I'd be so angry and so upset. Like, what? But these participants aren't on this alone. Oh, by the way, the participants don't even know that's what their parents doing. I don't know what reality show they thought they were on. I mean, it's a new reality show, so it's not like they had this to reference. But I don't know what they thought they were going to have to do. Like, they were packing to go relax, party, go out, have fun. And they were sent to the wilderness. Oh, just rude. Don't be too worried for them. They're not alone. They have some guys, the host of said reality show, the competition of sorts, because there is money involved. One winner is chosen, and a said winner gets $50,000. And that's whoever can stick it out, rough it, and who ultimately the hosts get to pick from those that stick it out for the entire process to choose which one is the most committed to the process, the most willing to engage with it, and shows real growth in the most way. Both of them have a very extensive military background for different things. I can't remember if they're both were in the army, and I can't remember what Joel did at all. I believe that his military career was longer than Joel's, however. But Joel, I cannot forget what he did because it's traumatic. Traumatic. I mean, it's probably traumatic in living it, but it was traumatic in the sense of things they did during the show. Joel was in the army, I believe, maybe, and was in charge of explosives. And Joel is the more, neither of them is quite animated, but Joel is the more animated one of the two. He basically talks for the both of them. Matt says his words, but he chooses them wisely, or he preserves his words more. He holds back a bit more. Joel is very clear on how he feels about the snowflakes, or snowflakes in general. He doesn't like laziness. He likes people who are assertive, who are goal oriented, and just like do something with themselves, in his opinion, and don't just like mooch off of others. And so it literally starts off with him being like, the one thing I hate the most is snowflakes. Woo! So, like I said, Matt is this like big guy, doesn't talk too much. And Joel, however, in contrast to Matt, is a smaller one. Like he seems quite lean, and like I said, he's the more animated of the two when it comes to voicing his opinion on things and talking about how annoying it is. But like I said, they're not very animated, either of them. But in comparison to Matt, Joel is animated. I think Matt's reactions and the way he emotes is very much reserved, and so he just seems more standoffish. Matt seems as though he's going to be the tough one. Nah, buddy. No. Joel is the mean one, and the most annoying type of mean, because he does mean things while smiling at you. This is not a spoiler because it's in the advertisement of it all, but they blew up their stuff. Joel used his expertise and he blew up their suitcases, their belongings. They had them pack. They were like, okay, grab your essentials or whatever, pack this and that in this bag. And the rest of the stuff that was in their suitcase, they blew up. Let me just remind you all that these are, like I said, very privileged, spoiled people. So we're talking about expensive things. Homegirl, oh, bless her heart. Oh my God, I'm already forgetting their names. Deandra? Yeah, Deandra had wigs. Wigs is expensive. I know. I love doing protective styles to deal with this. And every time, and I want to veer into wigs, but every time I look at that price point, I said, I don't even know how to apply this enough to just justify testing it out. Like, wigs are expensive. Like, expensive enough to, I'll never have one because I'm not about to pay that much money to learn how to apply a wig and get it wrong. Like, what if I mess up my lace? Oh, no. Oh, no. Anyway, they blew up all their stuff. But Deandra talking about her wigs hit my heart. But they put these contestants, these people, through hell. Okay? Every part of it. I was like, I know I don't fit under the category of a snowflake. I was like, I'm really feeling for them. Because I don't think, first of all, I don't think Joel will like me. Because I am going to complain. I'm not going to like it. It's going to be horrible. And I'm going to let everybody know. They had them climbing trees, hiking mountains, like actual mountains. It was actually dangerous. Oh my God, a punishment, if they didn't behave, was Last Chance Lake, where they literally just slept in, just outside. It was just outside. I'm not meant for this life. I don't even regularly camp. I don't do the regular camping with the cabin and stuff. I don't like the outdoors. That's quite blasphemous being in Washington State, but I mean it's very pretty to look at, and I like it for small increments of time, not entire trips. And like you'll never find me going on a camping trip. We'll never say never. But yeah, that's what they went through, and oh my God. Not that's what they went through. One girl, bless her heart, she didn't last a minute. She saw the campgrounds and said, no, thank you. I would like to leave. Everybody was like, you don't even want to try it out? She was like, no. I'm not her, but I respect her. Game, respect, game, okay? My favorite contestants, I'm going to call them contestants because it still feels weird calling people snowflakes. My favorite contestants is Deandra. I loved her. She was such a great personality. She was very funny. She worked really hard. She got her act together and worked really hard because she was somebody that had to face Last Chance Lake, and she said, "Oh, never again. Nah, that ain't for me, baby." But she was so, like I said, just funny and sweet. She held her own weight, really worked very hard. Like, I could see the determination within her to succeed and actually fulfill what Joel and Matt were asking of her. And it's very commendable that she, like, did the work. It's very commendable for all of them that they actually did eventually, like, suck it up and worked very hard. My other favorites are, not me not remembering my favorite's name. How could I forget Sunny's name? Because the whole time I was like, oh my god, his mom was so sweet. She, at some point, she basically talks about how, like, Sunny not got his name, because how do you know this when you see a baby? But was just like, you have always been my ray of light, or something like that. My, like, ray of sunshine and stuff. And it was so cute. I was like, oh my gosh. Sunny, I really, really liked. Honestly, if I was anybody on that show, it would be Sunny. Like, his mom just had so much love for him, and was just like, honestly, I've coddled my child, and that's why he is the way he is. And, like, she very much took responsibility for what it was, and it's not like he was lazy on purpose. He just had a hard time. Like, he just had a hard time leaving the comfort of being around his mom all the time, which is understandable. But as a result, he allowed himself to do less with his life and his circumstances, which is how he became a snowflake. But the first night, or the first few days, he overslept, he was like, no, I'm gonna just sleep through all this. You can try and wake me all you want, I'm asleep. He was like, I hate this so much, so I'm just trying to sleep it away. Relatable. And he had, like, very long hair, and there was literally one scene where the camera is just watching him at the campfire, and he has crazy eyes, and his hair is in a bun, and he's just sitting there, like, because they're, like, talking about something that's going on and, like, how scary this environment is. Like, Joel and Matt are, like, explaining the scariness and the hardness of this experience, and the whole time Sunny's just sitting there, like, just sad, And my poor baby, I said, oh, I understand, honey. You were not meant for this life, were you? Yeah, Sunny was just a good guy all my favorite characters were just good people overall, and that's why I really cared about them. Like, they were never whiny per se. They just, at the beginning had a hard time adjusting, but still, like, their personalities shined through. And yeah, my next favorite is gonna be Liam, who is the greatest thing ever. Watch the show to watch Liam twerk for random reasons over and over again, if anything. Like, that is the reason to watch the show. Liam, let Liam do something right for survival. He gon' twerk. Like, let the sun come out. He gon' twerk. He was such a great personality. And it just so cute and funny. I loved Liam. He definitely provided a lot of comedy and just great vibes for the entire show, and I appreciated him for that. Next up, after Liam, it's probably going to be Ray, for the very same reason I loved Liam. Oh, I forgot I got this in a box. I was like, did I buy a book that's this, like, has sprayed edges and everything? Update, by the way, because I forgot to tell y'all. There's a few book boxes that I didn't open, because I hadn't received them, and then the times I did receive them, I wasn't vlogging. So first up, which one was it? Mm, where? Okay, I remember. It was this and this, right? And we haven't received the June one for Illumicrate yet. So yeah, it was just these two. First off, I would just like to say, quick shout out, quick thank you to the team over at Fairy Loot. As y'all know, I have recently moved. I had switched my address on my subscription services because usually I receive my boxes at the end of the month. Like I said, I haven't received my June box for Illumicrate yet. It's on its way though. Which reminds me, I need to check and see where it's at. But it's on its way. I just haven't received it yet. So I usually receive them at the very end of the month, maybe at the very beginning of the following month. And so I was like, I'm going to be in the new place by then. I switched my address. Well, there was a little flub in the move, and we ended up having to move into another place, same building management and everything, but a new place. So that meant my address was different, but the boxes were already sent out. Not only that, the boxes were sent early. So for some reason, Illumicrate didn't listen to me when I said my address was different. I'm pretty positive that I didn't wait. Like, I did not wait to confirm my address. I did not wait for that. I basically the moment I received the Illumicrate for whichever month, April, is that what comes before May? April, yeah. That's when I had switched to the Illumicrate, but they still sent it to my old place, so I ended up getting it. That was fine. My Fairy Loot, they listened, and it was sent to the place that we didn't end up moving into. And I had to have building management go pick it up or go see if they could pick it up. First of all, the box was sent earlier than the earlier that I thought it was. And so it was actually sent the week before the week that we found out we were moving into a different place. And I was like, oh, hey, you know how I asked you if you can grab my box when it was delivered? Yeah, it was delivered last week. Can you go see if it's there? And it wasn't where the delivery person said it was. Like, it wasn't at the door like they said it was, and it also wasn't the mailbox. I had checked that place. I had checked my old apartment. I checked even here. I don't know how they would have gotten this address, but I checked even here. Everywhere. We checked everywhere. All the mailboxes, all the places, all the where. Nobody could find it there. And so I had reached out to Fairy Loot and was just like, hi, this is what happened. I moved the place we were supposed to move into. There was complications. We moved into another place. So this is my address that you guys got for my change of address. And this is the actual place. And I didn't think it was going to get resolved because it was a long time since it had been delivered that I had gotten to reach out to them. And also my first time I reached out to them, like, just went into the void. Like, I had sent the message and I then had to do a follow-up message. It was like, hi, I haven't heard back from you guys since my last message. Can you update me on this? And they're like, oh, we didn't get your message. And I was like, okay, well, now I'm actually looking at my email and I also can't find it. Weird. But yeah, this is the information. This is the confirmation order to the order. And this is the address that was attached to this, but this is the actual place that I ended up moving into. And the person responded and was just like, okay, well, we're going to be sending that to your new address now. It should be in about a week. And I got it in about a week. I was so scared, but I really hate advocating for myself for things like this. When I feel like it's my fault that things went bad, I have a very hard time speaking up. But they gave me another book, and I wasn't even asking for a replacement. I was just like, is there something we can do? Like, I didn't know if another book was possible. But yeah, they got me my book, and it was Book a Night. So that was another reason I wasn't too stressed about it, because I do have a copy of it, since it was also the Illumicrate box. But it is stunning. This artistry is beautiful. This is actually the edition I'm going to read, and it also belongs on my cart. And then for June, is that where we're at? June, the book was Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. This is beautiful. I'm very proud of Fairy Loot for moving away from black and white. I mean, I guess they moved away from, I forgot about this. They moved away from black and white with Book of Night, I guess, but it was still black. And now we got something. We got some stencil. Yes, still black. We're gonna get over that. But look at the yellow and the neon yellow and pink look gorgeous together. Have that and that. And it's signed. But back to what I was saying. Oh yeah, I love Liam because he's a ray of sunshine, which brings us into the next person that I absolutely adore, and that is Ray. She, for very similar reasons as me loving Liam, she was just a ray of sunshine from the very beginning. She was funny, had great comedic timing, and was just a great energy to be on the show. And I could just tell that their personalities were really motivating other participants. Same reason, like, I love Deandra. Sunny, again, I like because like sees to like. Okay, like that's my other half right there. But yeah, that's all the shows I've been watching. It was a lot, huh? I don't usually watch whole shows, multiple of them in a month, let alone watching a movie as well. Who is she? I don't even know. So moving on from television and movies, I've also been playing multiple different video games. Who is she? This is why I barely finished any books this month. I'm pretty sure I finished at least one. Pretty sure it was more than one. I think it was 2. If today wasn't the last day of June, it would have been 3. Or not even. I probably would have finished the score this month if I didn't have to film this and organize my shelves today. But like I said, video games. I finally got to test out Little Bug, which I talked about in my May TBR video. I finally got to try it out. Little Bug is a video game. I have a Switch, by the way. That is the only gaming console that I own. And so that's all I'm going to talk about. It is a video game in which a little girl is really upset because her mom just had a baby and she feels as though the baby is always taking attention from her mom, and that her mom's behavior has changed since her little sibling has come along. Little Bug likes to venture off and go out and find new adventures because she's not too happy with her home life. Like I said, she doesn't feel like she's receiving the attention that she wants from her mother. And so she just goes out and wanders about the streets. And I haven't gone very far in the video game at all because while I would categorize it as a cozy game, just based on like the music scoring and the storytelling elements of the game, it is frustrating. It is quite frustrating. There's one part I am consistently stuck at, and I can't. I'm like, it got to the point where I was like, how? Like, genuinely, how do they expect me to get through this? So I'll go back to it really soon, like within today or tomorrow, to try and accomplish it or try to finish it. Little Bug is her nickname, by the way. We don't know the child's real name, but she's just so sweet and innocent. I love the game. I think it's the cutest thing ever. However, like I said, just that part, it's a game where like you have to do, and I do like games like this where like it's kind of like a puzzle and you have to do things exactly right, and there's like a part where you're like shooting a beam to swing and stuff, and there's some timing involved in that. And honestly, you're trying to get away from these like scary figure things. And Little Bug also keeps saying that she's in a dream, which I don't think is quite true. I'm not gonna lie, at the very beginning, I thought she was dead. Like, the way she was talking about things, I was like, Is she... Does she just think she's dreaming and she's passed on? Oh, but then we met her mom and I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I can't take another game about mortality. That's not where my head's at. But speaking of, I'm a damn lie, because the next game that I've been playing a lot of and have been thoroughly enjoying is Little Campfires Everywhere, or just Little Campfires. I don't remember. I can't remember the full title. Y'all see the thing. So precious. This game is so precious. In this particular game, you play a little campfire and you are the last of your kind. And so you are trying to light a campfire, like a large, I guess a bonfire thing, so that, and in order to gather the flames to spark this fire, like there's no fire anywhere, and that your goal is to set the fire so that you can move on to your next phase or your next part of your journey. I haven't finished it, and I'm trying very hard to not just assume things. Seems very much like it's heading in the mortality thing, and like I'm just heading towards my own demise. But there is just a beautiful theme of mental health, and along the way throughout this little campfire's journey, the way that they're igniting this bonfire and igniting the flames so that the little campfire thing can move on is by helping other not passengers, but wanderers, other beings, other campfires essentially, that have gone through some things that make their light go out. And so when you're helping each of the individual things, it's actually like each of the individual campfires. It's weird calling they seem sentient, so it's weird calling a campfire sentient. But when you help the little campfire creatures, it's a puzzle, and so you have to beat the puzzle, and then that's what helps the campfire to like reignite its flame, and then they go to the bonfire, and that's what gives the bonfire its flame. Or they sit around the bonfire, and then that's what gives the bonfire its light and its flame. I don't want to just seem like you help these other campfire creatures and they jump into a bonfire. No, they're just sitting around the fire. Like I said, it has beautiful messages surrounding mental health and making mistakes, and just how guilt can really fester and make you feel worse about the situation, and how it can lead to shame, and how that can impact your mental health. And all of this is just me insinuating based on little texts that happen as you're working on the puzzle, in which the other campfire creature things will just say, like, I regret what I did so much. And speaking of the storytelling element, I especially love it because I don't have to read it. Don't get me wrong, I clearly love reading. Why did I feel like I had to explain that? However, when video games require me to do all the reading, that means that I cannot multitask. And I like to multitask, which means I will, while a video is uploading or while I need to like just do a few edits, or I'm waiting for something in the video game, I'll, like I said, help or like work on my thumbnail for a video that's uploading, or watch something on TV, or play a game on my phone. Just impatient, I guess is the word. But also, there are times where I just am not in the state to read. Let's put it that way. I'm not in the state to read. And so when something requires me to read a lot of text, and I'm like, bruh, I'm not going to remember this in the morning. Like, I hope this is not essential to your storyline, because I'm not going to remember this. I'm like 5 seconds from knocking out sleep. What you mean you want me to read? Oh, no. That's why I can't play Animal Crossing all the time, because Tom be wanting to say full sentences. That's his name? Yeah, Tom Nook. Tom Nook? Tom Nook. Something like that. And also why I can't play Stardew Valley all the time. That I have to read the other it's not a village, what is it called, the other town people talking to me, um and it's another reason why I can't play Cozy Grove all the time, because that was the one I was referring to when it comes to like I'm learning about these characters and their storylines, and I'm not in the state to read all this text. So if I forget, is it over? Like multiple times I've gone back into Cozy Grove and I'll have tasks that I need to do, and I'm like, what they tell me to do to fulfill this task? What they done said? Because I don't remember. I have found that Little Campfires is the perfect game to help me deal with that situation. And it's the only one of my games that reads for me. Actually, I think I started playing another game with a very similar storyline. And I can't remember the name of that. And I had started a while ago and had bought both games at a very similar time because it's what I was looking for at that time. Little Bug and actually both games that I have mentioned today aren't too expensive because games are pricey. They are some expensive things, but I believe both games, when I paid for them, because both of them do go on sale from time to time, so check that out. But I believe both games were under $20, I want to say. Like under $20, I want to say. Which is a pretty good deal, especially, like I said, for them both to have such a cute storyline and just so many cute elements within the game. It's nice to get a bang for my buck. Give me a second to put these books on my shelves, and then we can talk about the books that I've taken down on my cart. Alright, you guys, lighting change once more. I do have 4 books here that are also additions to my TBR for July and what I'm going to call my official TBR for July, because I really want to read them. Actually, let me grab one more. Alright, so there was one book I wanted to add because I had started it in June, but I had decided to pause and wait until July to do so. And I was going to do it for one video idea. I might switch it up and do it for another video idea, which goes along with another book that's in this pile. So first and foremost, like I said, just grab this book. It's Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I decided to start it, y'all. I don't know anything about it, like at all, but it's like a dark romance. Y'all, I really know nothing about this book. It's me. What do you expect? I've mentioned before, I really liked Hunt 57. I liked Birthday Girl, and both books had me very interested in continuing on my reads with Penelope Douglas. However, all her other books are either like quite taboo. I mean, Birthday Girl was taboo, but it's like dark stuff. Like, it's dark romances, and I just have not known how I feel about reading them. But I decided to finally give the books a go. So we have Corrupt here, and this is going to be how I tested. That being said, this is even bigger than Birthday Girl, and I'm scared. That's just it. I'm just scared. Because honestly, I thought Birthday Girl was too long, so that's even bigger. We'll see. At least for that one, I can read that on my Kindle as well before bed, so, because it's on KU. Next up, another book that was very high on my radar in June, but I forgot to mention it in my June TBR. But I did haul it in a vlog from June, and that is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This is about a woman who is a runaway bride and is going to clean up her twin sister's mess once more, and this mess, however, includes a daughter or a niece that the sister did not know about, or, you know, like a niece that the runaway bride, the main character, did not know about, and is now forced to raise. She's in a small town, honestly what sounds to be a quite dangerous town, and there is this dark and handsome brooding bad boy. I'm very interested. I don't usually read small town romances. Like, for some reason, when a book is marketed as a small town romance, that's not something that like intrigues me to read it. And honestly, now that I think about it, like the one small town romance I did read, I did not enjoy. Oh, but there was another one that actually was the very first book that I ever reread. So there's that. But yeah, we have Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Next up, I did mention this in the last video as well, or the last in my June TBR, but it was like a possible. Now it is officially on my TBR, and that is Vicious by LJ Shin. Like I had said in the past video, this is one that I'm highly considering for a vlog idea that I have, and I would be reading this along with Corrupt and another read that fits within the category. Now y'all really got a chance to figure it out. What is the theme of the mystery vlog? By the way, the only reason it's a mystery is because I don't want to put pressure on myself, because apparently every time I actually say things, it takes forever for me to do it. Next book that is on my TBR is The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake. Now, this is not a book that was originally on my radar for like my anticipated reads for the year, but as I continue to hear people whose opinions I truly respect, and who usually have quite similar reading taste to me, it's not always the same, but it is quite similar. They all love this, so I feel like I will love it as well, and I'm very excited to read it. Also, another person that I really trust wasn't that big of a fan of it, and we tend to have it's like a 50-50 shot of us feeling the same way about a book. So that is why I have decided to really curb my expectations and just go in for vibes. Oh, Atlas 6 is about, I don't know what Vicious is about. I really don't. He's mean. She's not. I don't know. Literally, I don't know. I don't know. How am I planning a vlog around Vicious, you ask? But I think it fits with what I'm thinking. So, yeah. But the Atlas Six is about 6 individuals who are chosen to partake in this like trial to enter this secret society, and there are like tests they have to do to enter the society, and at the end of it, one of them must go. As I have said the last time I mentioned this book, I assume that they must go means they must, but it's not like it explicitly says that. That's just what makes sense to me. Like, if people are doing this trial and only one of them, like only 5 out of the 6 will make it, what you gonna do with that extra one? Just trust that they're not gonna tell anybody about a secret society? That's dumb. And finally, what I feel like is gonna be my next read, like I really want to read this book, and it is a new release that I have seen so many people that I follow on Instagram raving about when it was released day. They're like, yay, my good sis is out, running to the store to get it. And so now this book in particular is The Final Strife by Sarah El Arifi. Please let me know if that is how you pronounce the author's name, if you guys know, and I will be sure to pronounce it correctly moving forward. Look at this map. Look at the map. Can you see the map? Look at the map. It's the map. It's the map. It's the map. And I don't know what about the nakedness of the book is so appealing. Oh my gosh. It's like so appealing to me, but it's a pretty book. I really love it. The map is colored and everything, like beautiful. And this book, I actually did read the synopsis for this book because I had seen so many people on Instagram raving about it, but I have since forgotten, and I would like to continue to forget about what the synopsis was. But I do remember like reading it gave me very similar vibes to Children of Blood and Bone, and I really enjoyed that book when I read it. like couldn't get it out of my mind. It gave me so much like peace and joy, and I loved reading that book. And then we got the second book, and my favorite character acted a damn fool, and I was like, what is this? After that frustration, it was still a good book, and who knows if we'll ever get a third. Point is, this book kind of reminded me of that one, and I would love to recreate that feeling and hopefully have an author that will continue the series, like finish the series at some point. That'd be cool. I try to keep it very simple this time and very low key. That being said, unintentionally grabbed quite thick books, or at least majority of the books are quite thick. These two, they're thick because they're self-pub. Like, let's face it, that's why. So we'll see. So they should be still quite easy to read, or like quite easy to get through, and like easy to fast paced. That's what I'm saying. They should be quite like fast paced in the writing, but we shall see. Self-pub is kind of like hit or miss when it's a thick book, but we'll see. There you go, guys. That's my TBR for July. Please excuse the lack of energy I have now at this end of the video. I have been filming and organizing for approximately 6 hours. Alright, though. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and edit it so that it's not too long. I hope it is not too unbearable, especially since a lot of my videos that have been, that I've uploaded lately have been really long. Hopefully this one isn't too long, or at the very least, hopefully you guys enjoyed the long format. The next few videos shouldn't be too long. I say that as though I have planned out that far ahead. I kind of have and kind of haven't. So we'll see. Hopefully the next few videos aren't very long, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. So with no further ado, if you enjoyed this video, my face, my voice, my extraness, go ahead and press that like button down below and press the subscribe button and bell notification if you'd like to be notified when I upload. If you'd like to stay connected with me as I would like to stay connected with you, go ahead and check out my social medias linked down below. And if you'd like to support this channel further, I have my Amazon wishlist and Ko-fi linked down below as well. Now, I believe that is everything. Feel free to comment whatever you would like down below. Anything I have talked about media this video. So please let me know if you have watched any of the shows. Have you watched Tussle, the movie I talked about? Have you played any of these video games? And do any of them intrigue you? But with no further ado, I believe that is everything. Although I am probably forgetting something because I always forget something. But bye, guys.